Lightning Lane Premier Pass, the exclusive $300 plus skip the line option, has debuted in Disney World, and we've got some opinions on it. Disney's also officially deemed it the holiday season, and we've got a first look at the amazing monster animatronics coming to Epic Universe's e-ticket attraction. And I will say, they're a little scary. All the latest Disney and theme park news is coming up right now here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Happy Saturday, Merry Christmas. But AJ, Halloween was 2 days ago. I know, but Disney World has already switched over to the holidays, which means my Christmas loving folks can finally celebrate in peace. Now, let's talk about everything that happened at Disney this week. The first day of Premier Pass in Disney World. Yes, it is here, and there's an issue. Okay, that may be dramatic, but stick with me. Earlier this fall, Disney announced the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass option. The system, which was first used at Disneyland earlier in October before debuting at Walt Disney World on the 30th, allows one-time entry to each Lightning Lane experience in a theme park. So you buy it for one park, you can go on all the Lightning Lane rides whenever you want, just one time. Now the big kicker is that Premier Pass costs between $130 and $400 per person per park per day, and it is only available to those staying at deluxe Disney resorts or select other resorts. The pricing will change each day the same way Lightning Lane Multi Pass and Lightning Lane Single Pass do, with surge pricing. On its debut day, the pricing for each park was listed at Magic Kingdom for $329 plus tax, Epcot at $169 plus tax, Hollywood Studios $269 plus tax, and Animal Kingdom at $129 plus tax. Now, you can only purchase Premier Pass for one park per day per person. So once you've purchased a park for that day, you can't add another park on later on in your day. If you plan on park hopping, you'll need to purchase Lightning Lane Multi Pass for your next park if you want to use the Lightning Lanes there. Now, we tested Lightning Lane Premier Pass at all 4 of Disney World's theme parks on its debut day and found that the on-the-ground experience wasn't all that different from using Lightning Lane Multi Pass and Lightning Lane Single Pass. Specifically, once you scan your phone at a given attraction's entrance, you join the same line that's being used by multi and single pass purchasers. While these waits are usually pretty short, it's still the same exact experience and wait. So the primary extra benefits for using the Premier Pass are the ability to ride every eligible attraction whenever you want, as opposed to needing to schedule a specific time. And while those are definitely benefits, it's arguable as to whether they're enough to justify the large price jump from the Multi-Pass and Single Pass Lightning Lane to the Premier Pass. We are not quite into the big holiday crowds yet, as that will happen once we get closer to the end of the year. And we are eager to see how opinions change about the service when we can actually use the system during crowded Disney days. And once Disney is out of this first testing phase, they might open it up to more guests than just deluxe resort guests. Over at Disneyland, anyone can buy it, so we'll see what happens when that happens. Now, for even more thoughts about this new system, definitely check out our latest articles about Premier Pass. We've got a bunch of them. Check them out. It is officially the holiday season. Goodbye, Halloween. Hello, holidays at Disney World. Do you know how I know Disney magic is real? Because every year those amazing Disney decorators have just a few hours to transform Magic Kingdom from a spooky spectacle to a winter wonderland. The overnight holiday makeover is very impressive. On November 1st, we saw lots of holiday decor on Main Street, USA. Over the next few days, we'll see even more decor go up, and the Christmas tree should be in place for the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party on November 8th. And in the other parks, we've already seen the stars on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood Studios, and the festive lanterns and Dino-Land decorations in Animal Kingdom. And on the topic of the holidays in Disney World, I've got some Epcot news to share. A gingerbread spaceship Earth is coming this year. It'll be in Communicore Hall starting November 29th, when the Festival of the Holidays begins. And apparently it's 8 feet tall. I am excited for this and also curious how they're going to do it. I don't know, but I can't wait to see it. 2 new booths are joining the Epcot Festival of the Holidays as well. Experimental prototype cookies of tomorrow. The gingerbread triangles that will make up the Spaceship Earth display will be available to purchase here with a decorating kit, and favorites of festivals past will also join Communicore Hall. Now, in addition to the new food booths, the Glittering Grove presented by Balsam Hill will be new this year inside Communicore Hall. Take in beautiful, enchanting Christmas tree forests along with an assortment of souvenirs that'll be available to purchase. So basically a merch shop. And snowflake decorating will be a new free activity outside of Communicore Hall. Okay, already seems like Disney's doing a bit more with Communicore Hall during the festival than what we've seen at Food and Wine, which is good news. Now, in addition to all that, Disney also released a full list of new and returning holiday treats. So now we've got all the holiday treats for Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, Disney Springs, and the resort hotels. Still don't have Epcot yet, hoping for that to come soon. Now, just click on the link below in the description to see all of the new holiday treats coming to Disney World. So you might not know this about the team at DFB, but along with keeping up to date on new food and ride updates and hotel refurbs, we also stay very aware of any permits Disney has filed because sometimes they help us predict what's coming next before Disney makes any announcements. Now, we found out a little while ago that the first wave of attraction closures for Dinoland USA would begin in January 2024. Yep, the last day for Triceratops Spin, Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures, and the Fossil Fun Games in Animal Kingdom will be January 12th. We're still a little ways out from these closures, but Disney has now filed a permit to begin demolition in the area. This new permit includes a detailed site demolition plan, revealing that the Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama area will be the first part of the land to be demoed. The first wave of demolition will be part of Phase 1 in the transformation to Tropical Americas, over there to Pueblo Esperanza. Later on down the road, Disney will close and demolish the offerings in the other areas of the land, like Dinosaur, Restaurantosaurus, the Boneyard, Trilobites, and Dinobite Snacks. A closure date has not been announced for those offerings yet. And also, they probably won't demo Dinosaur. I think that track will be used for the new Indiana Jones ride. The newly filed permit also addresses environmental impacts, which is important for keeping the message of conservation alive at Animal Kingdom. We're going to be interested to see how Disney includes that message in the new land. Do you think we'll get to see some new animal species in Pueblo Esperanza? Only time will tell. So now we've got a better idea of what construction is going to look like going forward with this project, and we'll make sure to keep a close eye on the progress and let you know when Disney announces more closure dates for various parts of the land. Lots of people are hoping for one last ride on Dinosaur. All right, more construction news behind Big Thunder Mountain. Construction has begun over at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in Magic Kingdom. Well, at least the appearance of construction. We noticed that there was a backdrop placed behind Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Now, what is it hiding? There's something going on behind it, and the backdrop is not doing a great job of hiding the construction we can clearly see. It's almost sheer, like Disney's just teasing us at this point. Now, a closer look even shows some construction vehicles in place. Could this be the beginning of all the construction that's about to happen to create the 2 new Cars rides in Villains Land? Or does this have something to do with additions to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad itself? All we know is it looks like Disney's certainly building something here. It is likely the ride might get some new additions once it closes for its year-long refurbishment, so we can't say for certain what this construction is for. But something is definitely happening in Magic Kingdom, and it's just the first sign of construction we expect to see there. Get ready for a lot of walls. We finally got a sneak peek at the animated figures inside the new Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment attraction, which is going to be hosting its first victims, we mean riders, on Epic Universe's opening day over in Universal Studios on May 22nd, 2025. Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, leads visitors into the eerie depths of Frankenstein Manor, where Dr. Victoria Frankenstein, the great-great-granddaughter of the notorious Henry Frankenstein, has carried out countless dark and hidden experiments. Wanting to showcase her brilliance, Dr. Frankenstein invites guests to observe the creatures she has contained. But when her demonstration spirals out of control, the monsters break free, leaving visitors caught in the mayhem. This attraction has 14 animatronics placed throughout the ride. 14. These impressive figures are said to be some of the most visceral, powerful, and fast-moving animated figures ever created. The Frankenstein monster figure itself stands at 9 feet tall and weighs over 800 pounds. There will also be animatronics for Dracula, the Wolfman, the creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, according to an Epic Universe press release, riders will be within inches of the Wolfman's menacing fangs and claws as he lunges at guests as they speed by in their vehicles. And as for the creature from the Black Lagoon, also known as Gillman, he will rise from the murky depths to join his fellow monsters as they terrorize riders. These animatronics showcase an impressive amount of detail, from the shape of their claws to their sharp teeth to the intricate textures of their skin and costumes. To see them brought to life in such an incredible way has us pretty awestruck at this point. We cannot wait to come face to face with them in this thrilling adventure of a lifetime. Halloween has come and gone, so now it's time for the holidays in Disney World. Earlier this week, we stopped by the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa to find Disney pastry chefs already at work constructing the famous massive gingerbread house in the lobby. This house is made up of more than 10,000 pieces of gingerbread, many of them baked into the shape of shingles. And once completed, you'll be able to buy yourself a gingerbread shingle and other sweet treats served up from inside the gingerbread house. Gingerbread displays are a beloved tradition at Disney World, with other popular displays built at the Contemporary Resort, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk Inn coming soon. And speaking of gingerbread, I've got some news. We are so excited to share a special design inspired by the enchanting gingerbread creations we see throughout the Disney parks and hotels during the holidays. There's something so magical about those whimsical gingerbread houses and treats that capture the spirit of the season, which inspired our newest holiday design. Add some magic to your holidays with 4 of your favorite park landmarks: Cinderella Castle, Spaceship Earth, the Tree of Life, and the Tower of Terror, crafted in playful gingerbread style. It's the perfect way to bring that park wonder home this season. Find this design and so many others at dfbstore.com. So a brand new hotel tower is getting ready to open at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Fort Wilderness got new cabins this year, and newly renovated rooms are debuting at Port Orleans French Quarter. And now we're hearing about a $275 million expansion at another Disney World hotel. The Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin plans to expand its convention space by 120,000 square feet, as well as renovate the hotel rooms at the Swan and existing meeting rooms. The Swan and Dolphin Hotel Complex, which also includes the Swan Reserve Hotel that opened in November 2021, is very popular for business conferences and meetings. Right now, the hotels have 333,000 square feet of meeting space, and the new expansion will bring that total to 469,000 square feet. A new 2-story annex will be added to connect the existing meeting space, and the expansion will include multi-purpose space and a ballroom. Some of the renovations are already underway, including a new color palette of white, blue, gray, and natural wood in the existing ballrooms, as well as the addition of luxury tile flooring and new decor in the Swan hotel rooms. The hotel says the room renovations will be completed this year. The convention space expansion is expected to break ground in November and be completed in 2026. It's pretty quick. New features have been rolled out on Magic Band Plus at Disney World. One of the main differences between Magic Bands and the new Magic Band Plus is that Magic Band Plus reacts to its environment with flashing lights and haptic vibrations. Like at fireworks shows, for example, when a firework goes off, your Magic Band Plus might light up and vibrate as well. Disney recently added some additional features to Magic Band Plus, so it's going to interact with even more attractions around the parks. In Animal Kingdom, your Magic Band Plus can interact with Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo, The Big Blue, and beyond. And at Hollywood Studios, expect to see some effects at Beauty and the Beast live on stage, Disney Junior Play and Dance, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration, and the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. We visited Hollywood Studios to test out some of the new features ourselves. At the Frozen sing-along, we loved that the Magic Band Plus lit up with blue every time Elsa did her Snow Queen thing, and it also vibrated to prompt us to sing along with the music. From what we experienced, this was the interaction that was the most seamless and seemed to flow the best. At Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, our Magic Band Plus tended to light up orange or red anytime there were explosions or fire. They seemed a bit more subtle than the interactions over at the Frozen show. Didn't vibrate for every explosion, just the major ones, which made it a little more exciting. We tested things out over at the Beauty and the Beast sing-along, and while we enjoyed the interaction and effects, they seemed a bit more random, like there was no real rhyme or reason to when they went off. Seemed like Belle's emotions triggered a reaction with purple lights, but we couldn't really keep track. Now, we really do like these new effects, and that Disney is still coming up ways to improve on the new Magic Band Plus. Hopefully this just means more updates are yet to come. So one of the new Universal Studios hotels just pushed their opening date back by a month. Although we had a reservation for Universal Terra Luna Resort on its opening day on February 25th, 2025, we recently were informed that the opening date for that hotel has been pushed back to March 25th, 2025. A whole month. That information has also been updated on the hotel's official website. We were told the Terra Luna's sister resort, Universal Stella Nova Resort, would still be opening on time on January 21st, 2025, and we were given the choice to either move our reservation to that hotel or have our reservation moved for Terra Luna to the new opening date, March 25th. So if you had booked a reservation for earlier than March 25th, 2025 for Terra Luna, you may be notified soon that you'll have to change that reservation. Note that Universal Helios Grand Hotel is not scheduled to open until May 22nd, 2025, which is also when Epic Universe opens. That hotel is actually in the park. As of now, reservations are currently available for that date and beyond. After a months-long closure for renovations, the Disney Vacation Club lounge inside the Imagination Pavilion in Epcot has finally reopened. The former lounge closed back in June to make way for something new, and we're happy to see that day has finally come. Welcome to the new Imaginatrium DVC Lounge. The Disney Vacation Club Imaginatrium Member Lounge is presented by PPG Paint, and you'll find it at the very top of the Imagination Pavilion, hence the name. Inside the lounge, you'll find plenty of seating with retro and mid-century modern vibes, and even spots for kids to catch some Mickey cartoons. You'll also find Coca-Cola freestyle machines and coffee if you're looking for some complimentary beverages. If you need a spot to get out of the crowds and get into some AC and you're a Disney Vacation Club member, you might want to check this out on your next Epcot day. Okay, now I want to hear from you. First off, if you're not following us on Facebook, you should be. We like to ask a lot of controversial questions over there to really get a good sense of Disney fan opinions. So this week we asked our readers when they plan on heading to Epic Universe to experience all it has to offer, in attempts to gauge when crowds may be busiest, and the answer might surprise you. This one is a bit of a given, but a lot of our readers shared that they won't be going to Epic Universe when it first opens in May because they already know it'll be packed. One of our top Facebook fans, Kate, shared a sentiment we totally understand, saying, "Just thinking about the crowds makes my social anxiety quintuple." Despite Universal's plans to mitigate opening day and week ticket sales by requiring a vacation package for 3, 4, or 5 night stays, and only one day can be spent at Epic Universe, it's to be expected that the parks will be a madhouse for the first few weeks of operation. Other readers of ours shared they wouldn't want to go at opening because they want to wait for the park to work out all its potential issues, which is another solid point. Epic Universe will be an entirely new park with certain ride types Universal has never used before, and shows that will be opening for the first time. So it's important to keep in mind that things may be more likely to close or go wrong in the first few months. However, you also may want to watch out for fall 2025 after the park has been open for a few months, because a lot of our readers also shared that's when they plan on visiting for the first time. Fall in Orlando can still be hot and humid, but nothing like the summer months, and it'll have given the park a few months to sort everything out. Specifically, a few readers mentioned heading to the park around the time Halloween Horror Nights start up to see what offerings may be included at the new park, and others shared they'll go in November and December when it's really started to cool off in temperature. So we're not saying to not go in the latter part of 2025, but just be aware that crowds might still be a little bit high. This may sound extreme, and it's hard to tell how crowds are going to be so long after the park opens, but we did have a lot of readers share with us they're planning to visit the park in 2026 or 2027 once it's been in full operation for quite some time. This especially may be true around the summertime as kids will be out of school and lots of families choose to take vacations at that time. While summer 2025 will likely be extremely busy for Epic Universe, it's likely that summer 26 and 27 may be packed as well. So which side do you fall on? Are you someone who wants to go right when it opens to say you were there, or do you want to wait a little longer for the crowds to thin out? Let me know in the comments. The Cake Bake Shop at the Boardwalk Inn in Disney World opened October 24th, well, soft opened on October 24th, and we've been lucky enough to try the bakery, breakfast, lunch, and the champagne bar there. This is an elegant dining location perfect for celebrating special occasions, and now it's about to get easier to eat there. Now this restaurant has opened reservations. You're not going to find them in the Disney World app though, at least not for now. You'll need to book your reservation through the OpenTable app or website. You can make your reservation for breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, or even just dessert and a cocktail. OpenTable is a good place to look for Disney World reservations, by the way. Lots of the independently owned restaurants at Disney World like Morimoto Asia, Shula's Steakhouse, Rosa Mexicano, and Haleo hold out some reservations from the Disney World app to make them available on OpenTable. Sometimes you can book earlier than you can book reservations on the Disney World app. Another Disney World hotel perk has been hit with a price increase. Previously, the cost of a refillable mug at Disney World was $21.99, but that price has gone up by $1 and you'll now pay $22.99 for a refillable mug. I remember back when these were like $16.99. Depending on how many fountain drinks and coffee and tea you drink, this could still be a good way to save money. Plus, many Disney World visitors just find it convenient if they're drinking a lot of beverages from hotels. This is just one of many price increases we've seen at Disney World, like price increases on 2025 theme park tickets, annual passes, food, and more. This is the time of year we often see those price increases, so we're not too surprised, but we wanted to let you know about this particular change in case it's part of your Disney World trip budget. So back in the day, Satu'li Canteen used to have a full menu of breakfast items at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Then over time, the restaurant shifted to just a lunch and dinner spot, leaving us breakfast lovers in the dust. But now that the holiday season is approaching and we are anticipating more crowds in Disney World, breakfast is back. Okay, first up is a classic breakfast staple, a bowl of fruit. This one is called the Tropical Pandoran Forest Fruit, served with fresh yogurt, muesli, and honey for $11.99. Now we are super interested in the cinnamon French toast with blueberry cream cheese, passion fruit anglaise, and sausage. This one is $12.99. Reminds me a lot of one of the original breakfast items here at Satu'li so many years ago. The restaurant is practically famous for its protein bowls, so of course Disney made a breakfast version. This is the slow roasted pork shoulder potato hash with chorizo sausage and charred onion sauce for $13.29. This one is going to be amazing. Finally, we saved the potential best for last. This is the vegetable goat cheese frittata with wood-fired beef tossed in chimichurri. You had us at goat cheese. This one is $14.29, and we're hoping it's worth every penny because it sounds really good. Disney's Animal Kingdom is pretty sleepy in the morning, but most people head straight to Pandora to get a ride on Flight of Passage. So this could be the perfect place to stop for breakfast after a successful rope drop ride on the park's biggest ride. 2 new menu items have popped up at Chicken Guy, so of course we had to check things out. This is over in Disney Springs, by the way. The first new item is a pumpkin spice cheesecake shake. Okay, there are a lot of words in that name that make us happy. For $6.99, you get a hand-spun vanilla soft serve shake blended with pumpkin puree and ginger snap crumbles, along with caramel swirl and topped with fresh whipped cream and cookie crumbles. The shake is full of pumpkin flavor and fall spices, so if that's your thing, you're gonna love it. The ginger snap crumbles add an interesting texture to the shake too. They soften up so they're not too crunchy, but just enough that you'll need to chew them. It's basically pumpkin pie in a cup with the ginger snap crumbles acting like a crust. We also tried the new pepperoni chicken parm sandwich with garlic parmesan sauce, marinara, pepperoni, parmesan cheese, and provolone cheese for $9.99. This is delicious. It's everything you already love about chicken parm, but with the garlic parmesan sauce, it just kicks it up a notch. So creamy and has a lot of delicious garlic flavor. The bun is also soft and buttery. The sandwich is also loaded with meat, especially at that price point under $10. There are 2 fried chicken patties on it, plus loads of pepperoni. And the main flavors are the chicken and marinara, but then that garlic comes in and adds a little something extra. The chicken is crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and the pepperoni adds a nice salty and meaty flavor. All we can say is, well done, Chicken Guy. So if you got a chance, be sure to pop into Chicken Guy in Disney Springs and try out these new offerings while they're still there. We heard that new menu items have arrived at a Disney World restaurant, but are they worth it? Let's dig in. This time we're at Pizzafari in Disney's Animal Kingdom to try out not 1, but 2 new items that just debuted on the menu. Chicken Parmesan with marinara pasta and creamy pesto chicken pasta. We weren't off to a good start based on looks, but as they always say, you can't judge a book by its cover. First off, we are starting with a chicken parmesan with marinara pasta for $13.29. Now this dish is served with a slice of garlic bread. Like we said, first impressions aren't exactly making our mouth water. We are getting microwavable meal vibes with this one again. Unfortunately, it tasted just as bad as it looked. Everything in the dish was dull, and it severely lacked in the flavor department. The breading on the chicken, not good, and the cheese and sauce had a terrible aftertaste. The garlic bread is the same Texas toast you can get at the grocery store, and while it's tasty, we were hoping for so much more for $13.29. Here's to hoping that the second dish is a bit better. Next up, we tried the creamy pesto chicken pasta, which also cost $13.29. It's also served with the same grocery store garlic bread. This one doesn't look very appetizing either, but we are happy to report we enjoyed this much more than we did the chicken parm one. I know, low bar, right? The chicken tasted the complete opposite of the chicken parmesan. It was fresh and it had a light chicken taste. We also liked the sauce that came with this, and a lot of it was hidden on the bottom, but we enjoyed the creaminess. The sauce is more comparable to an Alfredo. We didn't taste much pesto in it, but if you're looking for a creamy Alfredo sauce, this would be a good choice. This dish would be great for picky eaters as it is pretty plain, but comforting. Overall, the creamy pesto chicken pasta was our favorite of the 2, but it won't be the most memorable dish you can find in Disney World or even in Animal Kingdom. So time to find something else on the Pizzafari menu, or maybe go to a different restaurant altogether. There are so many great spots to grab a sweet treat in Disney Springs, but right now, one snack spot is temporarily closed. Vivli Il Gelato is temporarily closed for renovations. The shop hasn't shared a reopening date. In the meantime, you can still order some of their fun gelato offerings at 2 of their pop-up carts. parks. One will be located outside of the store in the landing area of Disney Springs, and the other is permanently stationed between the Lego store and World of Disney in the marketplace. Vivalil Gelato is known for its wide variety of gelato flavors, as well as other treats like sorbetto, gelato waffles, bombollados, floats, shakes, and even some alcoholic options. Their menu is pretty extensive, so it's likely they won't have everything available to pop-up carts around Disney Springs, but we'll keep you updated when that shop is going to reopen. If you're heading to Disney World this week, there are a few closures you'll want to know about. You don't want to be caught by surprise when something you wanted to visit isn't open. So here's a little refresh. Test Track in Epcot, closed. Frontierland Shootin' Arcade in Magic Kingdom, closed forever. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy in Hollywood Studios, also closed forever. And what should you absolutely prioritize on your visit because it could be your last time experiencing it? Number 1, all of Dinoland. Yep. We've said it a lot, but Dinoland USA and Animal Kingdom will soon become extinct. Sorry, had to. So make sure you give Old Chester and Hester a proper goodbye. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Magic Kingdom will be closing for an entire year starting January 6th, so get your fixin' for the wildest ride in the wilderness while you can. We've also got some exciting things to look forward to this week, though. Friday, November 8th will be the first night of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in Magic Kingdom, and the next day on November 9th will be the first night of Jollywood Nights over in Hollywood Studios. So be sure to follow us on social media to see everything those holiday parties have to offer. You know we're going to be there, and our whole team's going to be up all night making sure you've got all the info. And stay tuned to the channel for in-depth videos about each party, too. Now, I know what you're thinking. AJ, I just really want to go to a water park in November. Yeah, I know. Me too. It sounds crazy to people who aren't used to Orlando weather, but November can be a good time to visit. We're still looking at high 80s this week. Blizzard Beach will be reopening for the season on Monday, November 4th, which means that Typhoon Lagoon's last day will be November 3rd. Also, the last day of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival is November 23rd, so try all the yummy food while you can. And if you have no idea what is a must-try at the festival, go check out our video. We can help. Okay, so this could be bad news for you Star Wars fans. We walked by the Star Wars trading post in Disney Springs and we noticed it was closed. In fact, it's so closed that even its main sign is gone. This was a shop where you could get Star Wars merchandise like clothing, accessories, toys, home decor, and more. And this location was one of the few that carried the legacy lightsabers outside of the parks. There's a sign on the shop's main door that suggests visiting Once Upon a Toy instead for Star Wars merchandise. So we checked Disney World's website for Star Wars trading post hours, and it's listed as closed through January 1st, 2025. So it looks like this could be a permanent closure. Perhaps Disney has plans for something else in this space. Anyway, we walked over to Once Upon a Toy as the sign suggested, and let's just say the Star Wars merchandise there was pretty limited. However, there is another Star Wars store in Disney Springs, Star Wars Galactic Outpost. You're going to find it on the west side of Disney Springs, and there you'll find clothes, accessories, home decor, drinkware, lightsabers, pins, wall art, and more. So who's excited for Moana 2? The newest Disney movie to hit theaters will open to audiences on November 27th, Thanksgiving weekend. Regal Cinemas has announced their new lineup of Moana 2 merchandise coming to theaters for the release of the new movie. You can grab your favorite movie watching snacks and new souvenirs, including a new popcorn bucket and dome sipper. If you enjoy munching on nachos while watching new films, you might love this new nacho boat that features a space for your chips and dip. I think this is hilarious and I love it. And one of the coolest popcorn buckets we've seen is the new Wave bucket featuring Ocean and Moana interacting. There will be a wide array of collectibles to grab when you watch this new movie at Regal Movie Theaters, so budget back. And if you're not heading to the parks anytime soon but are aching for a new popcorn bucket, you might want to check out Regal Cinemas. Tickets are now on sale at Fandango, so go grab them before they sell out for opening day. That's all the news we've got this week. For even more Disney news, follow us on social media at Disney Food Blog, and be sure to sign up for our free newsletter. The link to sign up is down below. The newsletter actually gets all the greatest and most exciting news first, so you really should sign up for it if you haven't already. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.